Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Whited and I lead the Cardiovascular Psychophysiology Laboratory. And in my lab we study cardiovascular system from the ground up. We want to know how the cardiovascular system interacts with various mental health and trait factors. So we do this in laboratory studies where we look at people's cardiovascular stress reactivity and see what kind of individual differences are there to understand how that might affect them throughout their lifespan. We also apply this research by studying this over at the Cardiovascular and Pulmonary Rehabilitation Clinic at Fiden Hospital. And we have a great partnership over there. We do some clinical work with them, and we also do a lot of research. We've been studying how people handle difficult emotions and how their sleep is affected by cardiovascular and pulmonary rehabilitation, and what we can do to help them interact better and get better treatment with these psychological factors.
I'm Dr. Rob Carrolls. I'm one of the professors in the clinical psychology area, and I'm the director of clinical training. I wanted to tell you a little about the research that myself and my lab do at East Carolina. We are called the Healthy Living Research Group, and we've probably devoted about the last 20 years to weight loss interventions and understanding the impact of weight stigma on people's psychological and physical health. As far as weight loss interventions are concerned, I like a stepped care approach. So we often work with patients, we come up with certain goals, and we try to work with them to lose weight. But if they're not successful, then we step them up to something that is a bit more intensive so that they can be successful. At the same time, we study the factors that allow some people to be successful with sort of minimal intervention, and then other folks who need a little extra help. It was really through my weight loss treatment research that I became interested in weight stigma. I realized that people had very negative attitudes about people that carry extra weight, and so I became interested in studying that. But I think more importantly, I learned that oftentimes people who carry extra weight internalize those negative attitudes. They tend to be very critical of themselves, and that really diminishes their quality of life and can have some really negative health consequences. And so really our mission there is to try to help people to kind of overcome some of these self-critical attitudes, but also to understand why people hold negative attitudes towards people that have extra weight. Again, we've been doing this now for a couple decades, and I think it's just a really rewarding and fascinating area of research. And if this is something that interests you, feel free to send me an email or give me a call. I'd be happy to talk about it. Thank you.
What I love about this area is that there's such an opportunity to work with individuals who really need help. People that are impoverished and that don't have the opportunities that other populations have. And so rather than staying in our ivory tower, I am one of those kind of professors who likes to get out and work in the community. And I'm an engaged scholar, which means that I do my research out in the community. And I have found that there are so many opportunities in Eastern North Carolina, and there is so much need. And as an engaged scholar, you work with people in the community, and you don't just go in there, get your data, do your project, and then leave. You develop relationships with the people in the community. And I am one of those people that students can come in my office, and any kind of placement or any kind of connection that they need for doing research, for getting practical experience, I have the connections in the community, and I have built that over many, many years, and I like to continue to provide that service where I can give people in the community great opportunities, and then I can give students great opportunities in the community. It's a win-win situation, and that's why I cherish my time at East Carolina University.
The Cardiac Psychology Research Lab focuses on addressing the psychologic and behavioral needs of our patients with cardiac disease. Specifically, our work's focused on evaluating new technologies and its impact on our patients from a psychologic and quality of life perspective. These new technologies are often approved for use in patients, but the psychologic aspects are often overlooked by the approval process. Technologies to help our patients are often approved by the FDA because they're safe and effective. However, little is known about the psychologic side of living with such devices. Our research has been focused on how to evaluate the day-to-day function of our patients. For example, some of our work is focused on accelerometers inside implantable devices and wearable devices for our heart patients. Accelerometers provide us with information about how our patients move about during the day, how their typical activity levels are changed by cardiac events, and how we can use that information as starting points to help our patients become more active, more engaged, and to achieve better quality of life with these technologies.